Welcome to our channel. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to support us. Also, leave a comment below on what you want to see next. Your heart is one of the most incredible organs in your body. Think of it as a powerful, tireless pump. It is a muscle about the size of your fist located in the center of your chest, slightly to the left. Its main job, its only job, is to keep blood moving throughout your body. This is a task it performs every second of every day, without you ever having to think about it. This constant movement of blood is absolutely essential for life. It delivers oxygen, vital nutrients to all your cells, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Let's break down how this amazing pump works. The heart has 4 chambers, 2 on the top called atria, 2 on the bottom called ventricles. Blood that is low in oxygen comes into the right atrium from your body. From there it moves into the right ventricle, which then pumps it to your lungs. In the lungs, a critical exchange happens. The blood drops off carbon dioxide, a waste product, and picks up a fresh supply of oxygen. This newly oxygenated blood is bright red and ready to be sent on its journey to nourish your body's tissues and organs. It is then passed down to the left ventricle, which is the strongest chamber of the heart. The left ventricle has a massive job. It needs to pump this blood with enough force to reach every single part of your body. It does this through a vast network of blood vessels called arteries. This entire cycle, from the body to the lungs and back again, is called circulation. It is a beautifully synchronized dance that keeps you alive and functioning every single moment. To do its job effectively, the heart needs its own supply of blood, just like any other muscle. This is where the coronary arteries come in. These are special blood vessels that wrap around the outside of the heart. They deliver a constant stream of oxygen-rich blood directly to the heart muscle itself. When we talk about heart disease, we are not just talking about one single condition. It is actually an umbrella term that covers a range of problems affecting the heart and its blood vessels. The most common type is coronary artery disease. This happens when the arteries supplying blood to the heart muscle become damaged or diseased. Usually this is due to a buildup of plaque. Plaque is a sticky mix of cholesterol, fat, and other materials. As this plaque accumulates, it hardens and narrows the arteries. Atherosclerosis. That makes it much harder for blood to flow. Imagine a busy highway being reduced from 4 lanes down to 1. Traffic slows to a crawl and can eventually grind to a complete halt. The same thing happens in your arteries. Severe plaque can significantly reduce blood flow to the heart muscle. That causes chest pain, angina. If a piece of plaque breaks off and a blood clot forms, it can completely block the artery. That blockage is what causes a heart attack. A heart attack, myocardial infarction, happens when part of the heart doesn't get enough blood and the muscle starts to die. It's a medical emergency. Another consequence is heart failure. That doesn't mean the heart stops. It means the heart muscle becomes too weak or too stiff to pump blood efficiently. That leads to symptoms: shortness of breath, fatigue, swelling in the legs as fluid backs up. Beyond those, heart disease includes other issues. Arrhythmias are rhythm problems. The heart beats too fast, too slow, or irregularly. Valves can also fail. They are one-way doors between chambers. Valves can become leaky or stiff, disrupting blood flow. So what leads to this damage in our hearts and blood vessels? The causes are often a mix of factors, some we can control and some we cannot. Let's start with the things we have power over. Modifiable risk factors. High blood pressure, hypertension. When your blood pressure is consistently high, it puts extra strain on your heart and arteries, causing damage over time. It is often called the silent killer because it usually has no symptoms until significant damage has already been done. Another key culprit is high cholesterol. Specifically, we worry about high levels of LDL, or bad cholesterol. This type of cholesterol is a primary ingredient in the plaque that clogs arteries. On the flip side, having low levels of HDL, or good cholesterol, is also a problem. HDL cholesterol acts like a scavenger, helping to remove excess cholesterol from the arteries and transport it back to the liver. Diabetes is also a powerful risk factor for heart disease. People with diabetes have trouble controlling their blood sugar levels. Over time, high blood sugar can damage blood vessels throughout the body, including the coronary arteries, making them more susceptible to plaque buildup. Smoking is another major contributor. The chemicals in tobacco smoke can damage the lining of your arteries, increase blood pressure, and make your blood more likely to clot. Quitting smoking is one of the most impactful things you can do for your heart health. Finally, there are factors we cannot change, known as non-modifiable risk factors. Age is the most significant one. the risk of heart disease increases as we get older. Your family history also plays a role. Ethnicity can also be a factor, with certain groups, including African Americans, having a higher prevalence of high blood pressure and heart disease. While we cannot change these factors, knowing about them can motivate us to be extra vigilant about the risks we can control. The statistics on heart disease in the United States are staggering, and should serve as a wake-up call for all of us. As of today, August 19, 2025, heart disease remains the leading cause of death for men, women, people of most racial and ethnic groups in the country. According to the latest data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 695,000 people in America die from heart disease each year. That breaks down to one death every 34 seconds. It accounts for about 1 in every 5 deaths in the nation, making it a more frequent killer than all forms of cancer combined. Let's put that number into perspective. The number of people who die from heart disease annually is roughly equivalent to the entire population of cities like Nashville, Boston. Every single day, nearly 2,000 families in this country lose a loved one to a condition that is, in many cases, preventable. The economic burden is just as massive. The cost of heart disease and stroke in the United States is estimated to be over $230 billion each year. This includes the cost of healthcare services, medications, and lost productivity due to death and disability. This is a crisis that affects our health, our families, and our economy. The prevalence of the disease is also deeply concerning. The American Heart Association reports that nearly half of all adults in the United States, that is close to 130 million people, have some form of cardiovascular disease. This includes conditions like high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, and heart failure. For many, high blood pressure is the first sign of trouble. About 48% of U.S. adults have hypertension or are taking medication for it, yet many do not have it under control. This sets the stage for more severe cardiac events down the road. Heart attacks are a frighteningly common event. Someone in the United States has a heart attack every 40 seconds. That means that, by the time you finish reading this paragraph, several people across the country will have experienced this life-threatening emergency. In total, about 805,000 people in the U.S. have a heart attack each year. For about 605,000 of them, it is their first heart attack, while 200,000 happen to people who have already had one before. These numbers are not just statistics, they represent real people, real families, and a national health crisis that demands our urgent attention. When we compare the United States to other developed nations, the picture becomes even more troubling. While heart disease is a global challenge, America's rates are conspicuously high. For instance, Japan, South Korea, France. These are all wealthy, industrialized nations with modern healthcare systems, yet their outcomes are demonstrably better. This tells us that wealth and access to advanced medical technology are not the only factors at play. There is something unique about the American experience that is contributing to this disparity. Let's look at Japan, for example. The Japanese have one of the longest life expectancies in the world, and their rates of coronary artery disease are among the lowest in the developed world. A traditional Japanese diet is rich in fish, soy, vegetables, and rice. It is typically low in red meat and saturated fats. Their portion sizes are also generally smaller than what you would find in America. This dietary pattern, combined with a culture that often incorporates more incidental physical activity like walking and cycling, similarly, countries in the Mediterranean region such as Italy and Greece have historically enjoyed lower rates of heart disease. This has been famously attributed to the Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes olive oil, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains, with moderate consumption of fish and poultry. Red meat and sweets are eaten sparingly. This way of eating is packed with anti-inflammatory compounds and healthy fats that protect the heart. While modernization has brought some less healthy Western habits to these regions, the traditional dietary framework still provides a powerful protective effect. In stark contrast, the United States struggles. We have some of the most advanced hospitals and surgical procedures in the world for treating heart disease once it has developed. We are experts at interventions like bypass surgery and placing stents. However, we are failing on the prevention front. Other countries put a greater emphasis on public health policies that encourage healthy living, such as creating walkable cities, promoting healthy school lunches, and making fresh, whole foods more accessible and affordable. The United States seems to excel at treating the emergency, but lags in preventing it from happening in the first place. The question we must ask is, why? Why does a country with so much wealth and medical innovation have such a profound problem with heart disease? The answer is complex and lies at the intersection of our culture, our environment, and our policies. One of the biggest drivers is the standard American diet, often fittingly abbreviated as SAD. Processed foods, refined grains, sugary drinks, red meat, unhealthy fats. It is a diet that is energy-dense but nutrient-poor, delivering a surplus of calories without the vitamins and minerals our bodies need to function properly. Think about a typical American meal: a fast food burger, fries, a large soda. This single meal can contain more sodium, saturated fat, sugar than is recommended for an entire day. These ingredients are direct contributors to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity. Our food environment makes these choices incredibly easy and convenient. Processed and packaged foods dominate supermarket shelves. Fast food restaurants are ubiquitous. Healthy whole foods are often more expensive and less accessible, particularly in lower-income communities, creating what are known as food deserts. Our lifestyle has also become increasingly sedentary. Many Americans work desk jobs that require sitting for 8 hours or more a day. We drive everywhere, even for short distances. Our leisure time is often spent in front of screens, televisions, computers, smartphones. This lack of physical activity means our hearts and bodies are not getting the regular exercise they need to stay strong and healthy. Regular exercise helps control weight, lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol levels, and reduce stress. When we remove it from our daily routine, we remove one of the most powerful tools we have for preventing chronic disease. Stress is another critical piece of the puzzle. The American lifestyle can be intensely stressful. Long work hours, financial pressures, a fast-paced, always-on culture contribute to chronic stress. When you are chronically stressed, your body produces high levels of hormones like cortisol, adrenaline. These hormones can raise your blood pressure and heart rate over time, putting a strain on your cardiovascular system. While other countries also face stress, the combination of a poor diet, sedentary behavior, and high stress levels creates a particularly toxic mix for the American heart. The issues of diet and lifestyle are further compounded by the structure of the American healthcare system. While we are world leaders in acute and specialized care, our system is often criticized for focusing on treatment rather than prevention. It is a reactive system, not a proactive one. A patient is more likely to have insurance cover a costly bypass surgery than nutritional counseling or a gym membership. Financial incentives favor managing disease over investing in prevention. Access to care is a major barrier for millions. Many still lack adequate health insurance. Without insurance, regular checkups, blood pressure screenings, and cholesterol tests can be cost-prohibitive. So people miss hidden risks like hypertension and high cholesterol until a heart attack or stroke. Preventable conditions progress silently into emergencies that are harder and costlier to treat. For example, one person in France has easy, affordable primary care. They see their doctor for regular checkups. The doctor spots rising blood pressure, advises diet and exercise, maybe prescribes a low-cost medication. Problem managed early. The other person in America avoids the doctor because of cost. High blood pressure goes unchecked for years, damaging arteries until collapse with a massive heart attack, requiring an ambulance, an emergency room visit, and complex surgery. This happens far too often. There's also a disconnect in health education. Information often doesn't reach those who need it, or is confusing. Public health campaigns compete with huge processed food advertising budgets. For every PSA urging vegetables, there are commercials for sugary cereals, fast food, and soda. That makes healthy choices much harder. A reactive healthcare system, limited access, and a confusing food environment create the perfect storm for our heart disease crisis. The situation may seem grim, but the good news is that you have a tremendous amount of power to protect your heart. The American Heart Association estimates that about 80% of cardiovascular disease is preventable through lifestyle changes. It starts with what you put on your plate. Focus on eating more whole foods: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, chicken, avocados, nuts, olive oil. Try to cook at home more often, which gives you control over the ingredients, especially salt and sugar. Small changes like swapping a sugary soda for water can make a big difference over time. Next, get your body moving. You do not need to run a marathon. The goal is consistency. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week. That could be 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 days a week. Find an activity you enjoy: dancing, gardening, swimming, cycling. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park farther away from the store entrance. break up long periods of sitting by getting up to stretch and walk around for a few minutes every hour. Every step counts toward a stronger heart. It is also crucial to know your numbers. Schedule regular checkups with your doctor to have your blood pressure checked, cholesterol levels checked, blood sugar checked. If your numbers are high, work with your doctor to create a plan to get them under control. This may involve lifestyle changes, medication, or both. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Understand what your numbers mean and what your personal risk is. Being an active participant in your own healthcare is one of the most empowering steps you can take. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it can be life-saving. Finally, manage your stress and prioritize your sleep. Find healthy ways to cope with stress. Practicing mindfulness, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, engaging in a hobby. Chronic sleep deprivation is also linked to an increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and obesity. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Protecting your heart is not about a complete overhaul of your life overnight. It is about making small, sustainable choices every day. These simple actions, when added together, form a powerful defense against America's biggest killer. Overall, stay positive, eat healthy, exercise regularly, and most of all, remember Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not on your own understanding. Stay positive, family, you got this.